ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सकगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita every day. And by Krishna's mercy, in the 10th chapter, we finished 8 slokas in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, which is the opulence of the absolute. So, Krishna is giving more knowledge about himself in this chapter, we are understanding. In fact, Krishna is saying even more clearly that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Everything comes from Krishna. Everything emanates from Krishna. Even the 3 modes of material nature also. Vibhigi gunamayegi bhavegi yebhigi sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabijanati mam yebhyaka param avyam. So they are coming from Krishna only. Echaiva satvika bhavaga rajasa tamasaschaye matta evaiti tanvidhi. They are coming from me. The 3 modes of material nature. They are coming from Krishna, but Krishna is asking us to free ourselves from these modes of nature. Krishna is saying that matta evaiti tanvidhi. They are coming from me. Natvaham tesu temai. I am not in them, but they are in me. So, these 3 modes of material nature are coming from Krishna, but Krishna is asking us to get ourselves free from these modes of nature. So, it looks like contradicting because these modes of nature are under Krishna's control. It is coming from Krishna only. So, these modes of nature are Maya, Mama Maya, that is my Maya. So, they are working under my directions. So, it's all they are working under Krishna's directions. And Krishna is asking us to free ourselves from that Maya and surrender unto Krishna. By surrendering unto Krishna, free ourselves from Maya. So, we are understanding from Bhagavad Gita very well that the reason the Maya, the 3 modes of material nature are controlling us, because in reality when Maya is doing everything, we falsely think that we are the doer. So that is the reason we are coming under the control of Maya. And because we are not able to fall in love with Krishna, so we are struggling in this material veil, in this material bondage. So we are actually coming under the control of Maya because we are so much attached to material sense objects. So that is a major problem what we are facing in this material veil. Because in this material veil, it's very easy to forget Krishna. But also, just by remembering Krishna, it's very easy to get Krishna also. Both are easy. Sulabham. Sulabham means it's very easy. Krishna is saying that If anyone remembers me all the time without deviation, they can easily obtain me. That's what Krishna is saying. So it's very easy to get Krishna. Tasyagam sulabhaga partha. So tasyagam sulabhaga partha. Very easily we can get Krishna. But at the same time, these senses are very strong and our mind is also very flickering and it's very unsteady. So it's very easy for us to forget Krishna also. So what is hard then? The hard point is actually to control our mind. So it's very easy. Our mind can be carried away by the sense objects. Because the senses are so strong and impetuous, they forcibly carry away the mind. Yatatohi api kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramatini haranti prashabam managa. So indriyani pramatini, the senses are very, very strong. They forcibly carry away our mind. Indriyanam gi charatam yanmanonu vidiyade tadasya harati prajnam vayurnavam ivambasa. Even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away our intelligence. So that way, it is very easy our mind can be carried away by this material world, this material nature, material sense objects. So it is very difficult to control the mind because as Krishna also agrees that asamsaya mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam. Manodurnigraham chalam. So mind is it's very difficult to control the mind. But if we control the mind, then it's very easy to obtain Krishna. Ananya chetaga satatam yomam smaratti nityasaga tasyagam sulabhaga partha nitya yukta yoginaga. So we can easily obtain Krishna by controlling our mind. So now the hard part in between is actually controlling our mind. So the easy part is our mind can carry it over by this material nature. It will all the time, mind is flickering, turbulent, obstinate and very strong. And once we accomplish that hard part, that is control our mind and make our mind as our best friend, so then we can very easily obtain Krishna. That's what the difference between ourselves coming back to this material world or going to Krishna's world. So it all depends upon whether we are able to control our mind or not. That's it. That's it. Very simple question. Yes or no question. That's it. Yes or no. At the time of death, if our mind is under our control or not, or we are in mind's control. That's it. So if the mind is under our control, then we can remember Krishna, we can go to Krishna. We can very easily attain Krishna. If our mind is controlling us, if we are controlled, then we will come back to this material world. So that way, mind will become our worst enemy. So it is possible with the same mind. Mind is same. Mind is only one. So everyone has got mind. So with that mind, it's possible to elevate oneself to Krishna's world or downgrade to this material world again and again. Uddared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadaye atmaivagi atmanoripu atmaivagi atmano bandhu atmaiva ripu atmanagam atmaivagi atmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanagam. So the mind is friend as well as enemy. Bandhu means friend and ripur, that is satru. Satru is enemy. Bandhuratmat atmanastasya yenatmaiva atmanajitagam anatmanastu satrutve vartet atmaiva satruvatu. So our mind, so before we die in this world, we need to make our mind as our best friend. That's why one should elevate oneself with the help of the mind. Uddaret atmanatmanam. Natmanam avasadayet. One should not downgrade himself. One should not destroy himself. So that way we need to make our mind as our best friend. So that should be our goal. Our goal, the goal of our life now, all the time, what we have right now, we should make use of this time, make use of this life, make use of all the opportunities what we have, everything to control our mind, to keep our mind under our control, to make our mind as our best friend. But the procedure how to control our mind, it's very clearly given in Bhagavad Gita. So the 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga, teaches us very, very nicely, very clearly about how to control our mind, how to make our mind as our best friend. We just have to understand all the verses, all the slokas, and follow and each and every verse, and just follow what Krishna says without any deviation. So if you just follow what Krishna says, word to word, everything, as Krishna said, everything, there should not be anything we can fill in. Everything should be directly taken from Bhagavad Gita. Each and every word, each and every sloka and each and every word, we should understand and just follow exactly what Krishna says. So then it is very much possible for us to control our mind. Because Krishna has already given us complete knowledge about how to control our mind, how to make our mind as the best friend. So this is a great opportunity we have got studying this Bhagavad Gita. And just by remembering Krishna, we can control our mind. That's it. Controlling our mind is possible only by remembering Krishna. That means by being in Krishna consciousness. Being in Krishna consciousness means always depending on Krishna in everything. In each and every activity, we should only fully depend on Krishna. That's it. Krishna will take care of everything. So we have to believe in Krishna, and we have to do everything for Krishna's satisfaction, like Arjuna did. Like Arjuna fought for Krishna in the battlefield. So this material world itself is a battlefield for us. So we are fighting every day. Every day we are fighting in our life. So let us fight for Krishna. That is the main thing. Let us do everything for Krishna. Then we will be able to enjoy. We will be able to relish. First of all, we will be able to realize ourselves. Then we can relish. So the science of self-realization, that's what this Bhagavad Gita is. This Bhagavad Gita is Raja Vidya. It is the king of knowledge, king of education. That's what we are studying and getting every day, understanding this Bhagavad Gita. We are getting what the real knowledge is. The real knowledge is to realize, to understand that we are in the wrong place, to understand that we are struggling and suffering and we need to escape from this material world. We need to free ourselves from this material bondage. So that's what is the knowledge, the real knowledge. If you don't have this knowledge, ajnanam yatato anyata. Etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatato anyata. That's what Krishna says. Krishna lists what are all the knowledge in the 13th chapter. Then at the end, in the last 2 lines, Krishna says that etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatato anyata. Means whatever I have told, all these things are knowledge. Anything other than this is ignorance. Ajnanam yatato anyata. So that means we need to study and understand Bhagavad Gita to find out about what knowledge is. And what are the qualities of the divine persons? What are the qualities of the demoniac persons? What are the symptoms of a person who has freed from the modes of material nature? What are the symptoms of a person who has achieved the Sthita Prajna, the Samadhi status, who has completely controlled his mind? That means who has achieved the yoga. So like that, everything Krishna is explaining very, very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. We need to understand those symptoms. We need to understand those qualities. So we need to then achieve those qualities in our life. That is the main thing. This human life should be used only to achieve all these qualities Krishna is explaining. So like when we are studying and when we apply for some job, so first of all, we know what are the qualifications. They say that qualifications. The qualifications to first of all, even to ourselves getting selected for interview, we need to meet those qualifications. So they should say that minimum this degree is required and minimum this many number of years of experience is required. So this kind of experience is required, on the job experience, like that. And there are a lot of qualifications will be there. And once we meet those qualifications, then we will be selected for interview. Then if we do very good in the interview, then we will be selected for the job. So like that, here, in order for us to be selected to go to Krishna's well, we need to get admission. We need to get visa to Krishna's well. This is only one-way visa, that's it. There is no return. It is not possible to return back. So once we go to Krishna's well, Goloka, the visa to Goloka, once we immigrate to Krishna's well, Goloka, then that's our permanent abode. That's our permanent place. We are not going to come back here again at all. So, but we need to meet all the qualifications. That is the main thing. We need to understand what are the qualifications we need to attain. So that's what listed in Bhagavad Gita very clearly. We need to free ourselves from the three modes of material nature. So once we free ourselves from the three modes of material nature, then how we will behave? That is very nicely explained in the 14th chapter. And we need to attain the samadhi status. So that means we should not be disturbed by whatever we have heard in the past and whatever we are going to hear in the future, and nothing should bother us. Nothing should disturb us. So we should elevate ourselves to that samadhi status. And once we are able to elevate to that status, then how are we going to behave? What should be our behavior? So that also very nicely Krishna is explaining in 18 slokas in the 2nd chapter. So if we meet all these qualifications, so then if we are able to just follow Krishna's instructions as it is, that means by studying and understanding this Bhagavad Gita fully, each and every chapter and each and every sloka, what the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna says, and if we get that complete knowledge, so then just follow what Krishna says, so then we will be able to fill in all those qualifications. We can check everything we are meeting. And then we are eligible for liberation. That's what Krishna is saying that Yam hina vyadayante te purusham purusharsabha samadukka sukham dhiram somrittatvaya kalpate. So we are eligible for liberation, free from samadukka sukham. So being equal in both happiness and distress. So then we can go to Krishna's well. We can go to Goloka. Krishna's well, Goloka. So in order to meet that qualification, all these things, we just have to do only one job correctly. That's it. Let's not worry about all these things. How are we going to get those qualifications? How are we going to elevate ourselves? How are we going to control our mind? How are we going to do all these things? So we may think that it's so difficult, very difficult. How can we? Because Arjuna himself told Krishna that mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. It's very difficult for me to control the mind. Everything Arjuna himself said. We all understand. We all agree. It's very difficult. Even Krishna also agreed. But if we just take this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, understand this Bhagavad Gita, and spread this knowledge, share this knowledge, this Bhagavad Gita, to everyone and make as many devotees as possible. So that's what is the most important qualification. If we are just able to put a check mark, like we are qualifying this particular service to Krishna, that is spreading Bhagavad Gita, that is sharing this knowledge and making as many devotees as possible. So then all the rest of the qualifications, what in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, we will gain them. We will automatically get them, those qualifications. How easy it is for us. It is not at all difficult. It's very, very easy. Just study Bhagavad Gita, enjoy what Krishna says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, what he says, understand, and then just use our time to share this knowledge. Make as many devotees as possible. We are definitely going to go to Krishna's well, there is no doubt about it. So all these qualifications will come to us. So in order to do this, we first of all need to understand this Bhagavad Gita. That's what we are doing right now. So just when we study and understand all these slokas in Bhagavad Gita, we understand exactly, very clearly, what the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is expecting from us. That means we are able to understand completely about Krishna's expectations. So then we should strive for exceeding his expectations. We should work to exceed his expectations. So that way, just follow what all Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So that means we are getting a good knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. We are getting the complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that means it's very, very easy for us to go and tell this knowledge, to convey this knowledge to as many devotees who are interested to learn this. Definitely there are there. Definitely there are thousands and thousands of devotees are there waiting to receive this knowledge. So if we just do this one service very sincerely, very nicely, so then Krishna's mercy, we will go to Krishna's world. And we will be very, very be able to please Krishna so much just by doing this one service, one knowledge. So Bhagavad Gita is so much potent, just so much powerful. Just by using this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, if we have this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, so just by investing, using this Bhagavad Gita knowledge as an investment, we can gain whatever we want. We will never ever lose anything. That is the main point. We are not going to lose a little bit. But just if we get this knowledge even little bit, the gain what we are going to get is unlimited. Swalpamapiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. If we are able to even make very little advancement in this path, is going to protect us from the most dangerous type of fear. So this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is that much powerful. It is full of science because the words in this Bhagavad Gita, the slokas in this Bhagavad Gita, the verses are sung by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. It has directly come from Krishna's mouth. So that way we are very, very fortunate to study this Bhagavad Gita every day. We are making great progress. We are making very nice progress every day. We are studying Bhagavad Gita. Excellent progress. We have finished 8 slokas in the 10th chapter of this Bhagavad Gita. So, and this is not something for us to finish. This is something for us to enjoy, relish. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we can never ever say that I'm done with studying Bhagavad Gita. There is no way. This Bhagavad Gita, because it's coming from Krishna. So we want to hear from Krishna again and again. Again and again and again. When we listen to this Bhagavad Gita, understand all the slokas, understand all the verses and whatever Krishna says to us, so that really, really lightens up our life. We will completely come out of the darkness of this life. Because in this material world, senses are very strong. Maya is very, very powerful. And it's very easily, our mind will be very easily carried away, as we said in the beginning. But if we just do this one task, just remember Krishna and spread Krishna's message and study and understand Bhagavad Gita and just ourselves be focused and form up teams and organize ourselves and do this one task very, very nicely and make as many devotees as possible. So then there is no doubt Krishna is saying that Nasam Sayam. Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakte swabidasyadi bhaktim mayi param kritva mame vesasi asam sayam. Asamsayam, there is no doubt. Mameva Sasi, you will come to me, there is no doubt. That's what Krishna is saying that. So we will go to Krishna, there is no doubt at all. So by studying this Bhagavad Gita, only we understand how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. And how Krishna is seated in everyone's heart as the Paramatma, the Super Soul. So we are getting the eyes of knowledge through which we can really see things as they are. Whereas the fools cannot do that. The fools cannot see like that. Uktramantam sitam api bunjanam va gunanvitam vimuda nanupasyanti pasyanti jnana chaksusaga. How one quits one body and takes another body and how one enjoys under the spell of the 3 modes of material nature. A foolish cannot see all those things. Vimuda nanupasyanti. Pasyandi jnana chakshusaga. Whereas a person who has the eyes of knowledge can see all these things. We are getting the eyes of knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is the eyes of knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is the lamp of knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is the fire of knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is the boat of knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is everything for us. So just by studying and understanding this Bhagavad Gita as it is, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we are getting this Bhagavad Gita as it is, and just understanding it completely and surrendering unto Krishna and developing love towards Krishna and doing everything as an offering unto Krishna, our life is going to be very, very beautiful. We are going to enjoy. That is the real enjoyment. The real enjoyment comes only by studying and understanding this Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, in this material world, only the end result is only suffering, suffering, suffering. That's it. And we will suffer until the time of death. Chintam aparimeyam pralayantam upashitaha kamopabhoga paramaga yetavatiti nishchitaha asapasa satairbaddaga kamakroda parayanaga Ihante kama bhogartam anyayena artha sanchayan. That's what is going to happen. Unlimited sorrows. Chintam aparimeyam. Unlimited worries. Chintam aparimeyam. Aparimeyam means unlimited. So chintam aparimeyam cha pralayantam upashyataka. Until the time of death, our mind is not at all peaceful. We are not happy at all. All the time agitated. All the time not happy. When we focus on this material sense objects, everything is temporary in this world. That's what is going to happen. We won't be happy at all. But if you understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then just worship Krishna. We'll go to Krishna. That's what in the 10th chapter, 9th sloka, Krishna is teaching us that. What we studied in the 8th sloka, what we studied. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaga sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddhaga bhava samanvita. I am the source of everything. Everything emanates from me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaga sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam. Anyone who knows this, anyone who understands this, he will worship me. Bhajante mam. So because with great attention he will worship me. Buddha bhava samanvita. So now we are starting the next sloka. We are going to cover the next sloka today in the 10th chapter. So Krishna is teaching us in the sloka number 8. Krishna is teaching us that Machitta, that is 9th sloka. Machitta matgata prana bodhayantaga parasparam kadayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Machitta matgata prana. Machitta means always thinking about me. Machitta. Manasamyamya machitto. So control your mind by thinking about me. So here machitta, madgata prana means by dedicating their lives unto me. That's what madgata prana. So ready to give up their lives for me. So machitta, madgata prana, bodhayantaga parasparam. They preach themselves. Parasparam means among themselves. Bodhayantaga. Bodhayanta means they preach themselves. About what? Kadayantascha. They speak about me. Kadayantascha mam nityam. Mam nityam. Mam about me. Nityam always. So they always converse about me. So that's what. Kadayantascha mam nityam. And by doing so, tushyanti cha. Ramanti cha. They derive great satisfaction and bliss. That's what. Tushyanti cha. Ramanti cha. So that's what Krishna is saying. So machitta madgata prana bodhayantaga parasparam kadayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. That's what is happening with us also. When we study Bhagavad Gita, when we understand this Bhagavad Gita, when we spread this knowledge to others, when we share this knowledge to others, we are going to get so much happiness when we teach Bhagavad Gita, when we share this knowledge, when we read this Bhagavad Gita. So this Bhagavad Gita is the unlimited source of happiness. Otherwise, in this material world, is only everything is temporary and the end result is only sadness. only sorrow, nothing else. So that way, as Krishna says here, so just by understanding that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and just following what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, just following all the instructions given by Krishna in this Bhagavad Gita, so that means just sharing this knowledge with others. So we will be able to get so much of happiness in our life. So that is real happiness. That is Atma Sukham. That is real bliss, enjoyment, great satisfaction. So that will come to us just with the knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished this sloka number 9 in the 10th chapter. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank